Welcome to Bandits Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. Today we're going back in time a little bit. I totally forgot to finish this part of the adventure. Well, the world. Basically, if you remember, going back a bit, there was a group called the Black Hounds. They were a mercenary group who went out to basically run off a horde of goblins, as it would be. They were successful, but then there was a secondary battle that happened where the goblins kind of reformed into another army and chased down the Black Hounds. But because the calendar pushed that further into the future, I said, well, I'll deal with that when we get there. And I went back to the other adventures. Well, I forgot. So we're doing that now. We're rolling back in time, and the goblins have caught up with the Black Hounds, and let's see what happens. All right, we're going back in time a little bit here. Daniel forgot to do this combat on the 6th of June, or 7th of June as it would be. This is basically a mass combat. If you haven't been following this part of it, this group, the Black Hounds, was sent out to, or went out voluntarily, to take out this group of goblins that had been raiding villages, within like a 30 or 40 mile radius. They moved out on them, they attacked, they drove the goblins away. They spent about a week there looting the goblins' treasure, kind of making sure everything was secure for them, resting, etc. But while that was happening, the goblins themselves had a little minor battle, and basically what happened was the goblins decided to come back and attack. So that's what we're going to play out today. We're going to use primarily chainmail here. But again, I am playing original Dungeons & Dragons, so there's been some conversation back and forth on these various videos, and I've come to a couple of decisions. I'm just going to talk about that briefly before we set this up. Number one, I'm switching to a 1 to 10 scale for most of the miniatures. That is to say that each one of these 2mm setups is 10. So if you look here, we have 60 of these. That is our wolf riders for the goblins. So that's basically how that's working. But I do have these individuals that you can see over here, mostly on the side of the humans. There's one individual for the goblins. That's just because it's their leader. Those ones I'm going to actually refer to Dungeons & Dragons because that's the campaign I'm running. And what we're going to see here is the following. And I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Okay, this is right here on page 25. Land combat. The basic system is that from chainmail, with one figure representing one man or creature. Melee can be conducted with the combat tables given in Volume 1, or by the chainmail system, with scores equaling a drive, back, or kill equal to a hit. Okay, so that I'm not really using. I'm using the chainmail system. I'm not using the damage because I don't actually use that in my setup. I don't use hit points for this. Okay, so it says, battles involving large numbers of figures can be fought on 20 to 1 scale. And of course, chainmail also allows for 10 to 1, which is what I'm using here. Ratio, with a single fantastic types fighting separately at 1 to 1. So again, if I had like a hero and I had a hero on the goblin side, they could just fight and be fine. But since I don't have that, it says, or otherwise against but a single 20 to 1 figure. So the way I'm going to do this is when these figures, for the most part, there's a couple of little tweaks that I'll talk about as I do it. When one of these figures encounters one of these stands, we will go to man-to-man combat. So it'll be 1 versus 10, and I will play it out that way. It seems like it can be a simple way. I did a couple tests. It worked pretty well, so we'll see what that happens. I am limiting the number of individual combatants to attack a single figure to 8 because that's pretty standard for D&D. So even though there's 10 here, only 8 will be able to attack. If they surround them completely, still only 8 will be able to attack. But what will happen is they won't be able to move out, right? It'll block them in. So I will allow for that. And if that happens, we'll deal with it when it comes up. So I'm just going to go over the actual troops here so we can see what they are. And then I'll talk about how we're going to set this thing up. These are our standard goblins, so foot soldiers. These are goblin wolf riders. So we've got, I think 150 or so of these guys, 60 of them. This is our elite goblins. They fight as hobgoblins, basically. And that's our king that's on a wolf. Over here, we have archers for the lightfoot archers for the humans, medium horse, light foot, and then our individual hero figures. We've got a leader, which is a superhero. We have a myrmidon, a swashbuckler, and 3 heroes. So there's various rules that we'll talk about as they intersect, but let's just do that then so I'm not just talking about it because some of it might not come up at all. And some of it might come up and you might forget what I was talking about when that actually happens. So I'm going to clear the board of all the figures, and we're going to talk about setup. Okay, for this whole thing, the black dice will be the goblins, the white dice will be the humans. Let's make my life easy. First of all, we're going to determine who is the attacker. So whoever is the attacker will get to set a few of the criteria. So let's just see who's the attacker. Okay, the goblins are. What that means is the goblins have the option to either attack them at night before they leave, or like when they're on the road when they're setting up camp, or attack them when they're on the road. The advantage of attacking them at night would be that then the goblins won't suffer a penalty. And in fact, the humans will have a minor penalty if they don't, they're going to use torches and stuff, but they would have a minor penalty otherwise. The other thing is because the goblins are the attacker, they're going to get to lay down the terrain and the humans will get to move 2 pieces of it. What we're going to do here is the goblins are going to choose to attack at night. So I'm going to set the humans up as a camp, basically, with guards and stuff. And then we're gonna have, you know, some fires. I'll actually put some fires out where there'll be light. And then we're gonna put the terrain down and we'll go from there. So let me set up the 2 humans. All right, so I have this set up now. They have their encampment, they have light, they have fire. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually use the weather charts from Chainmail to see, because it could be if it's a clear night, then they're gonna be able to see okay, right? I'm not gonna give them a real penalty because of that, especially if they're semi-close to the fires. So we're going to roll a d6. 6. Oh no, it's raining. All right, it's raining. Ooh. 3. It's like I have this rolling thing and I'm not using it. So that was a 3. Oh, actually, okay, they looked at it's cloudy. Okay, so that's good and bad, right? Because it's cloudy, which means it's not raining, so I'm not going to have any issues with the fire. I was going to have to make some kind of rule where the fire might go out. But because it's cloudy, they're not getting any excess light. So it's actually a really good setup here for the goblins. The goblins are going to not get any penalty because of any light, and the humans are going to have to stay within, I'm using centimeters here, they're going to have to stay within 9 centimeters of the fire, or they can move fire with them, or they're not going to be able to see anything. So if a troop that has the fire gets killed, then I'll say the fire gets put out. So we're going to do that. We're going to have a little extra fire rules here. I haven't tested this because it wasn't dark the last time I did this. All right, so number 1, the way we do this is I'm going to roll a d6 plus 1. That's how many pieces of terrain the goblins get to put down. 3, okay. So they get, and by the way, everybody's facing out. They get to put down 3 pieces of terrain. Let's see. They're going to, they're going to go like this, because again, that's water is going to block them in. And then they're going to go like this and like this. Their hope is that, you can see what they're going to do here, right? They're going to make it hard for the humans to go anywhere. Now the humans are going to get to do 1 to 2 pieces of terrain they can move. All right, they can actually move 2 of them. Well, all righty then. I think what they're going to do is actually, which 2 should they move? It seems like moving the forest would be the easiest. Yeah, you know what? They want an open field. They're just going to go like this. So, sorry, goblins. So now the goblins are going to set up. They can't set up within their charging distance. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all their movement, and they can set up their troops at a distance that's outside their charging distance. Because, again, I'm not using any kind of surprise. So these guys, the horse, they're basically wolf riders. These guys have a movement, because they're carrying goblins, of heavy horse. So their movement their charge altitude is 18, so they have to be 19 away. And of course, they're going to try to go after the things they can most likely crush, which are the light troops. Actually, you know what? If they're being smart, they're actually going to go against these guys if they can. I don't know if they have enough space, because if they can take those light horses out, they don't. They can't actually go there. So they're going to go here, and they're going to go 19 away. So they're outside their charge range. And I'm going to put them in 2 ranks. The reason for this is that way the first person who goes doesn't just immediately charge up and take everybody out. Now, because the goblins have a leader, because I'm using the leader rules, everyone within 12 centimeters gets a bonus. So they kind of do want to stay somewhat grouped together, but they also don't want to give these guys too much room to move. Because it's nighttime and they're set up as a camp, Their goal is just to run the goblins off. The goblins' goal is to kill them. So that's basically our end game here. That's not always how I do it. If they were moving, it would have been, they could try to escape. But at this point, they got no place to go. It's nighttime. All right, so these guys, the foot guys, their charge is 9. So see, it would be stupid for me to put them here because these guys would just charge them, right? So we're not going to do that. I'm actually going to put them over here. Again, at an angle so they're not in the charge. And I want them, so 10, that way they're not in their charge range. I want them to, actually, if the goblins are smart, yeah. I'm gonna put them half and half. The guys on the other side aren't going to get any bonus from the leader being over there. But I think that it makes sense that the goblins would want to attack them from both sides. Again, they don't want to get charged, so I'm going to go like this. Okay, and I have 1 unit of elite. They are actually the same move as the regular foot. I think I'll put them over here just because I feel like I want them to be, we'll reinforce this side a little bit. This is kind of a weak side because it has the archers, which aren't particularly strong. Okay, so now everybody's set to go. Again, they're outside their charge range, so nobody can charge it. Well, they can't charge in their first moves, and they put themselves in a place where nobody can charge them, I think, unless I screwed it up. And we'll go from there. Let's just do this. Let's see, is this in the shot? Nope. Yeah, I'll put it over here. Nobody's over here right now. So number 1, we're going to roll initiative. All right, goblins win. They can either move first or allow the humans to move. I think they want to move first because they do not want to... No, actually, they do not want to move first because if they move, then the humans might be able to charge them. So they're actually going to allow the humans to move first. Whether or not that's a good idea, we'll find out in a second. So number 1, right here, these are light horse. Their movement is 24, okay? So that's 24 centimeters as it would be. They're going to obviously take their light with them. They're going to move because they're going to actually come after these guys. They're going to do a quarter turn, which takes 1/8 of their move. It takes a quarter, but horses use 1/8. 1/8 of their move to go that far. So that's 3, right? So they have 21 left. They're going to move. Well, they can't charge, but they might actually be able to come into the flank of these guys. Can you do that? Yeah. Let's see. So if they move, they move. I don't think so. They're going to move 11 more. So now they have 10 more after that. They'll use half a move or a quarter of a move to turn. So that's 6 more to turn halfway. Then are they within 4? Oh my God. Nope, not quite. They are, yeah, that's 4 right there. They can only get that far. Wow, so close. Okay. So they're able to move right next to these guys. No problem. However, these guys, are about to get hit in the side if they don't do anything about it. So that's why they did that. They can't charge, so that kind of is a bummer. Oh, this guy, by the way, is a hero, and he can't move quite as far. I don't think the hero's move is 18. So, but he was already pointed. Yeah, so he's basically 18 from 24 is 6. So he's actually back here. He couldn't have made that. He couldn't have turned, basically. He's right there, sideways. Okay. I'll put it on here as well. All right. Next. If these guys move, they're going to get charged. So they're not going to do that. But, actually, this hero, that'd be risky. He could, actually, I'm going to move these medium horse first. So again, a quarter move to turn sideways. So a quarter of the medium horse's move is, their move is 18, so a quarter is about 2, roughly. 2.5, 3, we'll say. So they've got 15 more. We'll put them. They don't want to get charged. So what they're going to do is actually move. Yeah, you know what? They're just going to do it. They're just going to move here. Seems silly, but at the same time, they can't. If they move up any further, they'll get charged. And they do not want to be charged. These guys are archers. They're going to turn. Now they're on foot, so that is actually a quarter of their move, which is 9, so it's about 2.5, so 2. And they're going to stay there, because if they move a quarter of their move, yep, they're close enough. They're going to shoot their bows, but they can't do it yet. They have to do it after the movement phase. All right, so they've moved these guys. I think they're just going to hold their ground. They could reform. Yeah, you know, they're gonna hold their ground for now. All right. So now I'm just going to move all the little guys. So these guys get a lot of movement, so they get to move around quite a bit. So C here is a hero. They have 18 move. Actually, can they? They charge. You know, they could actually, because that's less than a quarter of a turn. Their charge is 24. They're actually going to charge. Seems risky, but they're going to charge. And the reason why they're going to charge is because when you charge, they have to make a morale check. So they are heavy foot facing a charge. The other thing they're going to do with them is effectively lock them in place, right? Because once they're melee, they can't really move, at least not right away. So we're making a charge. The defender is, we consider them heavy foot. They're being charged by a heavy horse, so they need to roll a 9 or better. They do get a +1 to their roll because their leader is within 12 centimeters. So let's see if they can pull this off. 7, 8 with the bonus, so they fail. That means they must retreat back a move and a half, which is, their move is 6, so they can move back 9. So, okay, back to the enemy. And they are actually disordered, so I'm just going to put them like this. Okay. Okay, so they have moved now. He has to continue his move. That was only 18. His total charge is 24. So he's going to move another 6, but that's not quite far enough to hit him again. So they're there. Okay, he charged, so, and they moved now. And he takes 2 for charging, I believe. Okay. Now, using that similar tactic, my superhero he only needs to get within charging range in order to trigger a morale check. So he's actually going to turn, a quarter turn, then move 9. So again, that's a total of 11, and then he can turn the quarter turn again, so that's 13. And he's going to stay right there because he's within charging range of them, even though they're not within charging range of him. That triggers a morale check on them. It might actually even trigger a morale check on these guys. 21, 21. Yes, his charge is 21, I believe. No, his charge is 24. So that's a morale check on him and on them. I guess technically on the leader as well. So let's see what happens. Now, this morale is as if they lost. This morale is as if they had losses in melee. Basically, this one, instability due to loss. So again, they are heavy foot. They need a 7 or better, and they get +1 on the die roll. This is oh no, that's these guys. We're going to do them first. They fail. That means that these guys, upon seeing the hero, actually retreat off the board. They're gone. Okay. This guy, though, they are considered a light horse. So they need a 6 or better. And again, they get +1 to the roll. They survive. Okay, so their morale is fine. I'm not going to make the leader roll morale. I don't think that's really how that should work. Okay, unless he was with the troop. Okay, so all that being said, they're staying. We just pulled those guys off the board. I have one more, actually 2 more, because that guy can move as well. He's my Myrmidon. My Myrmidon, just to be safe, just in case these archers get hit hard, is going to actually do a half turn, which again is a quarter move for them, and then a quarter turn. So they're basically using 3/4 of a move. Well, a quarter and an eighth. Doesn't actually matter because they're not going to, I don't think they can, well, they can't charge because they move that far anyways. They're just going to move forward because they're actually they're going to join this group. These guys are also going to join. The reason for that is because I'm about to do some missile fire. Hopefully. They have their fire with them. This guy took this fire with him. No, this one I guess we just left there. All right. I think that's all the movement I want to do. Everybody here has moved. Making sure I marked everybody. Okay, everything's marked. Now we go to the goblins move. Again, these guys aren't close enough to charge, but they do want to move forward, so they will just move forward their full amount, which is 6. Because they're a much larger group. So if they can get close enough, they will very likely be able to take these guys out. Same here. All right. Do the elite move the same? Yeah, the elite move the same. Okay. So they've moved. Now it's time for missile fire. So again, we're within missile range. What we're going to do here is, so this is, again, the first of the kind of semi-house rules. If you read what they say about heroes, they say that they're equal to 4 figures. So you might think 1, 2, 3, and then 4 more, and then 4 more. But I feel like that's a little bit weirdly off balance. So what I do when they're with a group like this, I just add an extra figure per. Each hero equals 1 figure. I think that makes more sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures, and they're going to shoot into this group here. So the way that we use this, the goblins are unarmored. They defend as lightfoot, so that's unarmored. I have 5 shooters. So I'm going to roll a d6. If it's a 1 or a 2, that takes out 2 figures. If I roll a 3 through 6, it takes out 3. It's just a single roll. Okay, 3 figures. So 3 of these guys are taken out. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to do all of them. Well, actually, let me do this first. So there was 7 of these. That's almost half of them. They're heavy foot. So at 33%, they have to make a morale check. So they're going to make a morale check. They need a 7 or better. They don't get the bonus. They make it. Okay, so they're fine. These guys are dead, so over here. Over here, I don't think they're close enough. It's funny, the hero, or rather superheroes, have a 21-inch bow fire. And the hero has a 18, so he can't shoot. He can actually shoot. Now, because he's moved more than half his movement, though, I have to roll a die. So the rule is that if you are If you move more than half your distance, then you need to roll a die that beats the other side in order to be able to shoot missiles. So that's what he's going to do right there. He's going to try that. They're also going to do it because Light Horse also have missile fire. So here's the first one for the superhero. Okay, he does. So he's going to be able to shoot into them. And again, like I said, at this point, I'm going to do it as man-to-man. So he acts as 8 figures, so he's going to get 8 shots. And he's going to take out only single figures. So he has a horse bow. He's attacking... There's wolves, so no armor. So he's a 9. Yeah, 9. Okay. So he needs a 9 or better on 2d6 to score any hits. All right, so here we go. He gets 8 shots. So let's see if he gets any hits here. 1. No. 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 He's only got 1 hit so far. No. Okay, it's not worth rolling anymore because he has to get at least 5 in order to trigger a morale check. So he shoots his bow. He does not take out anything. These guys, again, they move more than... Oh, are they close enough to shoot? The bow range for a light horse is 18. Yeah. All right, so if they beat them in a die roll, they will get to shoot as well. They do not. Okay, so these guys can't shoot. And that's the end of the missile fire phase because none of the goblins have missile weapons. And now we go into melee. Oh, these guys didn't move. Yeah, they're actually moving. So I'll just move them now. Their regular movement is 12. They're going to charge next time, obviously. Since they passed their morale, they can get closer to him. Okay, so they've moved. All right, and he wants to make sure that he gives them their bonus, so he'll stay behind them. He has plenty of movement to do that. I'm not going to bother counting that. All right. All right, that's turn 1. So far, the goblins haven't they lost a big chunk of their men in that first charge. It is going to be important here as we roll morale. It's going to be important here as we roll initiative. This is going to be a very important one because this could be very decisive. Because right now, this is a charge, right? But so is this. So is that. There could be foot charges. So we got a lot of things going on here. So let's see what we get. Initiative. Simultaneous. I'm not going to deal with simultaneous because if I was playing against somebody else, I would. I feel like that's just not the best way to do it when you're playing solo. So we'll roll again. All right, goblins win initiative. Oosh. Okay. First thing they're going to do is they're going to charge right here. So they can easily do it. But I still need to measure it because remember, they have to keep going if they... this could be very bad for the humans. So they're going to charge forward 7. That is going to trigger, just like they did over there, that's going to trigger a morale check. So those guys are Lightfoot. So Lightfoot being charged by Light Horse, because they're Light Horse, even though they move as heavy. They need an 8 or better. They do get a +1 because the leader of the army, which is this guy, is right there. So they got to get 2d6, beat an 8, or they're going to break and run backwards. 8 exactly. Okay, that would have been bad if the leader wasn't there. All right, so they make their morale check. That's both good and bad. Good because they're not going to cause all the disruption that they would have caused, but bad because, you know, they're about to get run over by goblins. Okay. That's the goblins' first move. They'll obviously move with them. The reason why I'm not having them join is because if they break, the leader also breaks. So he's just staying with them, but not with them. Although he'll get attacked if he doesn't do that. You know what? He's not gonna do that, to be honest with you. Because he realizes that he's out here in a bad spot. He can move pretty far. No, you know what? He's kind of screwed here. He's gonna join this group basically. And I say because he's not a fantastic figure, when he joins this group, he can't be like targeted by himself. You know, he's the last one to fall, as they say. If he was a hero, they could challenge each other, but he's not. So he's just a regular light guy. All right, so that's their first move. These goblins are gone. These guys are also going to charge. They're going to, now with the charge like that, you don't have to worry about the, there's no morale that's checked, only against horse charges. But, okay, so they're going to get to, because they're treated as heavy foot for attacking, they're going to have to add an extra die here in this combat. They're going to charge like this, and he's just 9 away exactly, so he can't get on the side of them. So he's just going to also charge forward. It's going to mean he's going to face his hero, but that's okay. We'll deal with that. All right. Is that all the goblins? I think it is. Yep. Okay, so now the humans will get to go. Again, this guy's part of this group, though he's not going to get to really do anything because of where he is, so he's going to move from them. If he moves, they won't get the bonus to the morale, so I think I'll leave him there just to be safe. And this guy, he's got plenty of movement. I'm not going to bother measuring it. He's going to come up and charge into the side of them. Not charge, but move into the side of them. This guy, he's going to use half his movement. Actually, yeah, let me just check something. If this group can actually get to the back of them, then he's not going to go up to the back. I'm trying to decide where he wants to go. I think he can actually charge into their flank. Because again, it's a full move to do a 360, but on a horse, moves are half. So he's actually going to turn this way. And then if he can't charge at this point, he can only move. So his regular movement as a hero is 18, so he has 9 more. You can't quite get to them. These guys are light horse, so they have a lot of movement. They have 24. So they can actually come out to here. Yeah, they have more than enough. Okay, so they're going to actually come like this. Again, it's not charge, but they're going to come behind him because being in the rear position is good. This guy is going to turn, I don't think, again, once again, he's going to have to do almost a full turn around. So he's going to be able to only move 9 because you can't do a full turn like that and then charge. So he's going to move up 2. This is the plan. I think they want to, I'm going to leave these guys to fight and they want to take these guys out. They're the most dangerous. So the superhero is also going to just come right into them. I mean, he could actually charge them, but I feel at this point that's not going to happen. All right. So this is going to be an interesting combat. And again, it's all simultaneous, so I'm going to have to like keep track of what I'm doing here. But now that there's no missile fire because nobody is in the position to shoot missiles, they can't shoot missiles because there's a melee going on. You can't shoot missiles into melee. And everybody else is in a melee. All right, so I will do what I believe is going to be the easiest one first. Give these guys another one because when you're in a melee, you get a token. Okay. So 3 versus 3. Heavy foot versus light foot for the goblins. So my poor archers are about to get their butts kicked, I think. So heavy foot versus light foot, 1 die per man, 5 or 6 kills. We have 3, again, per man is the figure. We got figures, so 3 figures are attacking. So I get to roll 3 dice, but again, they get 1 extra die because they charged. 5s and 6s remove stands. Huh, they had nothing, okay. 0. Well, that's good for the humans, I guess. Now, coming back at them, we have Lightfoot attacking Lightfoot because they only defend as Lightfoot. Light versus light is 1 die, 6 kills. So the 3 dice, 6s are kills. Nothing. Okay, so nothing amounts of that part of the melee. This hero, I guess he could have moved. He didn't though, so it's fine. He'll move around next time. This hero, though, is going to fight these guys. So the way this is going to work is it's going to be man to man, as I said. So they are, I consider goblins to have spears. Well, actually, they attack as, let me just check for a second. They attack as armored, I believe. Yeah, they attack as armored. They defend as heavy. Okay, so armored would be some kind of a polearm. So we'll say polearm. So we've got polearm versus our guy here. He is on a horse. He's on an armored horse. He's on a heavy horse. So they need a 9. Actually see this chart. Polearm. They need 8. Okay. So 8 or better. And like I said, no more than 8 of them can surround him. And it's the first round, so it's only 4 of them at this point. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to use, just to make my life easier, I'm going to do 2 at a time. So basically we're pairing the dice up. We're looking for 8s. 4 of them are going to get to attack. Oh, actually, if 4 attack them, they can't, let all 8 of them attack them. Why not? So let's see how many hits they get. So I'm going to basically do 4 sets of these. None. 1. 2. 3. Okay. So they get 3 hits against him, but because he is a hero, they need 4 simultaneous to kill him, so they cannot kill him. He's not dead. He is a heavy horse. He's attacking with a lance, basically. A lance against... they defend as heavy, which is chain. So a lance against chain is a 6 or better. So he needs a 6 or better. And again, he's 4. So I'm going to do this twice. Nothing. Two. Okay, so he gets 2 hits against them, which I'm just going to track over here. When there's enough to cause a morale, we will... what I'll do, I'll just put 10 here, because there's only 10 of them. There's 8 left now, so I'll do that. Okay, that's all that's left there. He's alive. The rest of that doesn't happen. This guy will be able to move around, but he can't do it yet. Now we move on to the next melee. This melee is going to be a little more complicated. So, first of all, let's do these guys, because they're only making 1 attack. They are attacking as light horse against light foot. Okay? So light horse against light foot is 2 dice per man, 5 and 6 kill. There's 3 men there, so they're rolling 6 dice. Any 5s or 6 will kill. I guess I don't have enough black ones, so I'm just going to roll all of these. I know I said the black would always be the goblins, but... So any 5s or 6s are going to be removing stands from that group. Oh my god, okay, whoosh. That's very, very, very bad for the humans. Okay, so I'm just going to flip them over so I can keep track of what's going on. They remove 4 stands from this group, which, of course, is going to immediately call for a morale check. In fact, I think with that many removed, they just fail the morale. They don't have any choice. The hero doesn't go down because of that, because of the fact that the hero never checks morale. Or, yeah, he never checks morale, so he's not going to have to leave. So they lose these ones. This one is going to retreat. So he retreats off the stand. So I'm just going to put him up there. He's not dead. He's just there. Okay. Cool. Now, here we have... I'll just start here. This is a medium horse against a light horse. And it's a flank attack, so they're not going to get 2 attacks back, I believe. Let's check that. Units attacking from the flank are at the next higher class. Okay, yeah, so they actually cannot... They will get a return attack, actually. So this guy can fight back. Okay, so they're going to be considered heavy horse. And this one guy can attack back at him. I'll just do that one first just to... Oh, right, it's simultaneous. I have to do the other way as well. So let me just... I'm doing all the goblins' attacks first. Don't want to lose track of that. That's what happens sometimes when you do simultaneous. Let me just roll back for a second. Before I do this, let's go back to here. There were 3 ranks of light foot in the front attacking light horse. There might not have been enough to do anything. Light foot against light horse, 1 die per 2 men. So they're going to get 1 die. So we're going to roll 1 die here. If it's a 6, then one of those stands is gone. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Take this one out. You're supposed to take it from the back, but just for convenience sake, so I can keep track of what I'm doing. This guy's gone. Okay, now we'll do this one. Again, I'll have the goblin attack first. The goblins are light horse, and they are attacking, well, effectively heavy horse because they're being attacked from the flank. So light horse versus heavy, 1 die per 3, which means they actually cannot attack because there's only 1 stand that could actually attack there. And even if you want to consider that this stand could attack, there's still only 2. So they don't get to actually attack. Heavy horse versus light horse is 2 dice per 5 or 6 kills. So here, these guys are rolling 2 dice. Any 5s or 6 will be kills. Okay, done. Okay, so there's no kill there. Now again, circling around, here's our big one. These guys are light horse, but they're attacking from the rear. So they get to... Units which are attacked from the rear deliver casualties without receiving any in return. Plus they get the bonus as stated above, so they go up once. They're treated as medium horse. Medium horse versus light horse is 1 die per 5, 6 kills. So there's 3 medium horses there. No, nothing. Wow, okay. Huh. Not doing good. All right. And then that just leaves our superhero here. So the superhero is going to be attacking, again, these guys, they can actually fight back because they're on the flank. So he's heavy horse, but because he's attacking from the flank, he gets a +1. So he's attacking light horse. So a lance against unarmored horse needs a 5, and he gets a +1 to the die. He gets 8 attacks. So again, I'll do it like this to make my life easy. So he basically needs a 4 or better. Okay, that's 2. 4. 6. 8. Okay, he gets all 8 of them, which means that it drops this group down to only 2, which is the beyond their morale breaking point. But again, they still do get to attack back. They are, I guess they're also lance. And they are attacking a barded horse, so they need a 7. And basically, there's 10 of them, but they need 8 hits to kill the superhero. So if they miss 2 of them, then I'm not going to bother rolling the rest, if that makes sense. So let's see. They need a lance. They need a 7. All right, here we go. Okay, they missed 1. Okay. Okay, they missed 2. So they missed 2, which means there's not enough dice for them to possibly kill him. So this group is also removed. Okay. And I think that is the end of that fight. So post-melee morale, nothing happened here. So we don't have to worry about any of that. But this is going to be the big one. So we're going to come in here and do our post-melee morale. The side with fewer casualties determines the positive difference. Okay, so this side has only 2. They have 5, so that is a 3 multiplied by a roll of a d6. So 15. Okay, the goblins get 15 for that. The side with the greater number of surviving troops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's this side. They get the difference, so 2. When I'm doing troops, I'm just doing figures. You could add them, do the math the other way, but I don't see the reason to do that. Each side multiplies their surviving figures, separating them, more than one type is involved. Okay, so they have 4 light horse, so that gives them 24. This side has 3 light horse, which would give them, because the light horses are worth, that says 18. 1 medium horse, which is worth 8. and they have then these guys have their own separate amounts. They have, there's a hero and a superhero. So hero morale rating is 20, superhero is 40. All right, so then I think that's it. Then we just add those up. By the way, this is way easier when you do it figure like this than the way I was doing it before. Okay, both sides now told the scores, step 1 through 3. Okay, so we do this. So 15 and 24 is 39. We've got 28, 48, 88. Then we do the math, so 49 difference. And there's less than 20 figures involved, so we multiply it. So the difference is 98. And we look here, 80 to 99, route 1.5 move. Okay, so these guys are routed out 1.5 moves. I mean, they're being attacked from all sides, so I don't really know where exactly they would go. It's funny, too, because 100 different would have been a surrender. But it wasn't 100 different, so there we go. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't think it's realistic that they could actually move, and maybe somebody who plays Chainmail will tell me what should happen here, is I'm going to just kind of consider them routed. And because they are routed, that means that they need to make a roll on a d6 next turn. They have to get a 1 or a 2. And if they get the 1 or a 2, then they will be able to fight back. Otherwise, they're just going to take casualties because they're routed. That's just how I'm going to handle it, because I think that makes the most sense. Okay? So let's do this now. Let's come into next round of initiative. Although nobody's moving really, so it doesn't actually really matter. But we'll roll 3. I guess it matters in the man-to-man combat if people were using different size weapons. Goblins move first. So yeah, we have that man-to-man combat. If people weren't using different size weapons, I should say. So the goblins are going to move, but there's nowhere for them to move. They could circle around and wrap around people, but they can't because, well, let me see if these guys are routed. So if they get a 1 or a 2, then they'll be able to fight back this turn. 6. So they're routed. They can't do nothing. These guys can't move. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. This guy can move up here, which is what this guy was going to do anyway. So he's going to move up to fight this guy. All right. Human movement, same deal. He's going to move up. He's actually going to go there. These guys are going to come in. This one here. I guess this one here. And this one here. We have plenty of movement to do all that. I don't need to bother measuring that. So now these guys are fully in a massive melee. Do we need to make any kind of... No, we didn't have to make a... These guys had... No, I made the morale check. Okay. I don't know if I remembered making the morale check or not. If I didn't, then I didn't. All right, so let's do this. Let's do one melee at a time. If you've been enjoying these actual play videos, and I hope you have since you got this far, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Share it around if you'd like. Check the show notes below. You're going to find links to things like the rule sets that I'm using to run this. And also you'll find links to my Discord server where you can join the conversation, my cool t-shirts, I think they're cool anyways, and a link to my Patreon if you want to support the channel. I'll talk to you soon.